a symbol of power, or a house with secrets? What does a small-town kid from Ohio and a multi-million-dollar real estate empire have in common? For JD Vance, it's the story of his rise from a modest home in Middletown to Vice President of the United States. But his properties hold some secrets. One sparked protests in a liberal neighborhood, while another's value skyrocketed in the most unexpected place. What if these moves are more than luck? Keep watching to see just how far JD Vance went and what it all means. Before we glance at JD Vance's life today, let's take a moment to look at the journey that molded him. Born in Middletown, Ohio, Vance grew up in a struggling Rust Belt town, a place where factory jobs disappeared and families fought to stay afloat. His memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, painted the raw emotional picture of that life, which was later adapted to a Hollywood movie of the same name starring Amy Adams. It was a modest two-story home with a porch tucked into a middle-class neighborhood. He lived with his mother, who struggles with addiction he detailed in his book. While the house has since been renovated, its walls once echoed the hardships and resilience that defined his early years. From this small house, JD Vance built a career in law, the Marines, and eventually in politics. And as his career reached new heights, his real estate journey took a significant turn too. Before we move to his next home, here's something odd. JD Vance's next big purchase was not in a conservative area. Instead, he bought a house in a Democratic-leaning locality. Why would a Republican politician choose to live in a liberal area? We'll get to that soon, but first, let's talk about his first major real estate investment. His first step of wealth was marked by the purchase of a townhouse in Washington, D.C. in 2014. Upon the completion of studies in Yale Law School, JD Vance alongside his wife Usha purchased their first major property, a white brick row house in Washington's Capitol Hill suburb. The purchase price, $590,000. The newlyweds had much to figure out. But here's the twist. Vance and his wife don't actually live there. Instead, they rented it out. It's amazing how, despite Vance's increasingly public political persona, his tenant, who apparently still lives in the house, describes him and his wife as great landlords. But JD Vance's real estate journey didn't stop flourishing there. With the success of Hillbilly Elegy, Vance made a major leap in real estate. He and Usha purchased a stunning historic mansion in Cincinnati. It's one of the most expensive properties in the area. This home, located in the Indian Hill neighborhood, is a 5,600 square foot property with 5 bedrooms and an exotic view of the Ohio River. Blending mid-century Gothic revival and high Victorian Gothic architecture, it stood in stark contrast to his childhood home. He bought it for just under $1.4 million, but its value skyrocketed after that. But here's what's surprising. This area is overwhelmingly liberal. In the 2020 election, 85% of voters in this neighborhood supported Joe Biden. Despite this, Vance chose to settle here, raising eyebrows among supporters and critics alike. Was it simply about the home's beauty, or did it hint at something deeper about his personal ambitions? But wait, his next real estate purchase fueled much more political controversies. What happened when JD Vance moved into one of the most liberal neighborhoods in Washington, D.C.? He didn't get much of a warm reception from the community. But what exactly did they do? Well, let's find out. In 2023, after becoming a senator, Vance upgraded yet again, this time to a stunning $1.64 million home in Alexandria, Virginia. It's a 2,500 square foot ultra-luxurious property with 5 bedrooms situated at the heart of Delray. And Delray is more than just a neighborhood. It's a vibrant, diverse area following strong progressive ideologies. In this deeply religious region, over 80% of voters supported Joe Biden. So, why would Vance, a conservative figure and strong Trump supporter, choose to live here? Perhaps he values the privacy, charm, or opportunities the area offers, despite its political leanings. His house is stunning, spacious, and undeniably extravagant, with large windows, keen interior design, and ample space for a growing family. The focal point of this story, however, is not only about the property, but about how a quote-unquote woke neighborhood welcomed Vance and his family. So how did the residents of Delray react to their new neighbor? The answer might surprise you. Instead of protests or hate speeches, the people of Delray found a peculiar way to ensure that their views are loud and clear. They yarn-bombed the streets. Around his home, wrapping trees and fences in colorful yarn decorated with LGBTQ+ symbols and pride flags. They didn't forget to mention the immigrant rights protests as well. It was a silent but powerful statement. Despite all this uproar, Vance didn't seem to be much affected by these actions. Was it just an acceptance of the cold shoulder received from the community? Or a sensible move to wait till things evolve to his favor? Despite this, Vance lived in the house for less than 2 years. Why? Because in January 2025, he moved into one of the most powerful residences in America. In a political shakeup that redefined 2025, Donald Trump returned to the White House, with JD Vance serving as the newly elected vice president. With this new position comes the new residence. Number 1. Observatory Circle. The mansion has been the residence for all the vice presidents since 1977. It's spread over 72 acres right in the middle of Washington, D.C. It's a historic construction that is entirely private and blinded from the public. With classic architecture, the house has 33 rooms and a luxurious yard. Now, for someone like Vance who built his life story on discipline, hard work, and pulling himself up from a rough childhood, the amount of change this new home brings is undeniable. All this history and sudden shift in lifestyle leaves an impression very far removed from his upbringing. However, with his new home comes a tremendous amount of responsibility. Number 1, Observatory Circle is not simply a figure of a lavish home. Rather, it represents a crucial place where impactful decisions are made. Decisions that Vance now has to live with after stepping into the vice president's shoes. We've seen where he came from and where he lives now. But the real question is, where is he headed next? And what will the next home say about the man behind the headlines? Real estate can embody wealth, power, or transformation. It can connect you to your roots or distance you from the past. What do you think? Do JD Vance's residences convey a deeper tale of ambition, power, and diplomacy? Or are they merely real estate deals? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our channel for more.